go. Hey guys, this is Doug Fletcher, and you are listening to What's the Hazard? Perhaps even watching What's the Hazard. We are actually doing video for the first time after 2 years of audio, not having to look at us. We are subjecting you to this is what safety and health professionals actually look like. So if you're watching on YouTube, we appreciate it. Thank you very much. We're excited to be on YouTube to get started. I think that'll give us an opportunity to actually show some things perhaps that we're unable to do with just audio. So very exciting, kind of a new frontier for the program. If you're just listening on the radio or listening at your desk, we're glad that you're back. So we appreciate that as well. It is December 3rd, and it's 50 some degrees in Omaha, Nebraska. Some weird shit going on, man. It was 70 degrees yesterday. We are either in for it, or is it possible that it's going to go easy on us this year? I have no idea. It's almost terrifying to.
It's the calm before the storm.
It is, man. That's what I'm afraid of. That it's going to hit us and hit us hard. But we will take every day like this that we can get in December in Nebraska. So we've had a good few weeks. I hope you had a good week. It is Friday, and I hope things went well for you and your program and your employees, the people that you're charged with protecting. I hope they're doing well. I'm excited about these next 2 episodes, and we're going to break them down into 2 short episodes that we've been trying to do. Finally, my buddy Jon Palipinto is able to be with us. Incredibly busy guy. I've been asking him for a while, and this is a big ask because this guy has a lot of responsibility, runs a big program. He is the environmental safety and health manager of a large food processing facility in this area that we won't get into great detail about, simply because we haven't gotten approval to do that.
Yeah,
but
no approval.
It doesn't
Short
change
notice,
the fact
sorry
that
about that.
No, man, I appreciate your being here. We have known each other for about 5 years. I'm guessing 5-6 years, somewhere in that
Yeah, it's
vicinity.
about 5 years now.
Something like that. And you have an interesting background. So talk a little bit about your background and how you got into this role as EHS manager.
You know, if you asked me 5 years ago where I'd be, or I think maybe now 6 years, 7 years, I never would have told you I'd be in environmental health and safety. I started my career in the military when I was 18, and I progressed through that the whole time, 21 years, and I retired. But through that time, I was my education was in security, and I had additional duties in the military that were safety, but I always intended to go into security. And as I started to get involved more in safety in the military, I noticed I just realized that I liked providing that service to people. I liked helping people and creating a safe environment so they're able to do their job and do it without any concerns of getting hurt. And when it came to retire, that's what I kind of was pursuing more security related. And then I found this job that was safety, and I went to the interview and they hired me. So that's how I got into the safety realm, the safety career. Now, you know, I always, like I said, I've seen a number of incidents out there, and especially in the military, I was like, man, that could have been so easily avoidable if this was done.
Right.
And that's where I get the enjoyment out of, like, thinking of all the things.
Absolutely.
And providing that work environment.
And if you're retired from the military, I mean, if you are drawn to serve, I mean, if that's your makeup, safety is actually a great career for that. I mean, I think most people that are attracted to the safety profession have some desire to be of service, to be useful, to help, coworkers or, other folks. I mean, it's just something that we get pleasure from and get some satisfaction from. I'm going to tell an interesting story. So that first job, I believe, was with the grain company, and they were a client of mine. And so when you came to work for them, we actually worked together on some of their facility audits. So we were going around auditing some of their facilities, grain elevators and mills and things like that. And I can remember distinctly, we had discussed that your background was in security. So as we were walking through these facilities, you were actually noticing things about the security of those locations I'd never even considered before. And we were looking at one building on one location and trying to figure out, I mean, is it locked? Is it not locked? And all of a sudden, like literally the door opens and you're standing there and I'm like, how the hell did you get in there, man? I mean, you were trained to identify those weaknesses and and so you were inside the building without.
Yeah,
it was crazy.
Attention to detail and just looking for those things. Anything that you can exploit is going to be, that you can see an exploit, is definitely going to be identified by somebody to take advantage of.
That's interesting. So let's talk about now. So a few years ago, maybe 3 years ago, perhaps, you took another job, and a big job. And so you are currently now the EHS manager for this large food processing facility, which here in Nebraska is, probably our primary industry, if not ag. It's certainly food processing. And you started with this company, this organization, at the very beginning. I mean, literally, the building had not been erected yet. So you have been there from the very beginning, and you and I have talked over the last few years. This was an incredibly monumental undertaking. Talk a little bit about that.
It was, but what really drew it to me, made the job interesting, and why I really wanted it, was because I had that blank canvas to create the program, the safety program, the way I want it to. And that's, during the interview, that's how it was told to me. Like, we're going to give you, a blank piece of paper, and you're going to make it the way you want it. The only thing we're asking you is that we have everything in place that's going to keep people safe and to obey the law. And I found that very great. I mean, it's a great opportunity to I can go in there and not have some sort of corporate organization telling me how to do it. I had the choice to do it the way I wanted to do it. So, I mean, it's been a long journey so far in the 3 years that I've been there, but it's been the best experience
I can't imagine
I've ever had. I've learned so much about safety in general, people, building a safety program.
Well, as we mentioned before we started recording, you are really unique in that respect, because I've never started a safety program. I've audited hundreds of safety programs. I doubt that most of the safety professionals that are listening that we will interact with will ever have the opportunity to start at ground zero and build a program. They are usually either coming into a program or they're kind of piecemealing some things together. Was it overwhelming in the beginning? I mean, just getting a scope of what was going to be involved?
It was overwhelming, because I had a plan and a strategy. I had all the policies done, procedures, and what it really turned out to be was chaos. And that was really hard to get over. Was things weren't going the way I intended it to go, and I had to be very flexible and adapt and adjust, and and in some instances accept certain hazards and risks to where it was, and try to mitigate it as best I could, because there's still the goals of the company that have to be met, and without harming the people. So there were certain things I had to give and take, and flexible, and adjust policies, procedures, and so on and so forth. And that was so many of the challenges with it. And I just learned to be patient. And
that's remarkable. And you've always been that guy. And probably, I would assume that 20 plus years in the military had something to do with that ability to be flexible, to change, on your feet, to accept that certain things were not going to be quite like you wanted them. But you've always seemed to have a really calm demeanor about this stuff, and which I think is incredibly valuable. But I can remember you and I talking in the very beginning. Again, they're doing dirt work out there, to raise this to build these facilities, huge facilities.
Huge.
Let's just make it very clear that without naming this facility, it is huge. And it's almost entirely self-contained. I mean, everything that you need in order to function, you guys do yourselves. It is remarkable. We could call it state of the art, since it's relatively new, almost brand new. I was overwhelmed for you. So where did you start? How did you start formulating this plan?
I start off of just basic operational knowledge of how I wanted things to progress, and I made timelines, and I made plans and strategies to get to that timeline, and we just took little strides at a time to get to it. And we celebrated some goal or some achievements, but we never lost focus of the goal. And to be honest with you, we're still not at that. Well,
it's never done.
Yeah,
never done.
It's never done at that goal, and that's no incidents. Everybody's protected 100% of the time, and we're always trying to meet those goals to get there. It's taken a little longer than what we wanted, but we're making really good progress.
That's incredible, man.
And it's just I'd say the past 6 months has been really where we've made huge strides to where I'm going home now at night going, yeah, I feel good about not being there.
Yeah. Oh my God. And so just from a take-home message standpoint, for anybody who's starting a program from scratch, I can't imagine anyone who's going to be starting a program of the magnitude that you were tasked with, but even a guy, or gal that is starting a program for a small 10, 20, 30 person contractor or small business, whatever the case might be, it seems daunting. But you said a couple things: timelines, kind of lay out a timeline of progress. You want to meet certain milestones, and then celebrating some of those achievements along the way.
Absolutely. You got to celebrate them, but you can't celebrate them so much that you lose focus of the ultimate goal. And that is that environment that you want no incidents to occur there. But the celebration is definitely needed, because it gives the management and the employees the comfort of knowing that we're making progress.
Right.
And they're included into it, so they're giving some meaningful contribution to the program.
Nice. I love that. Interesting, man. So, for those of you that might be tasked with starting a program from scratch or redoing a program completely, I think that is great advice. Engaging those managers in the celebration so everybody can appreciate where we are and where we're going, but staying focused. That's a huge deal.
That's it. Staying focused. Making sure everybody's included, because it's not your program or, in our case, my program. It's the employee's program.
Right.
And it's never going to be achievable unless you have all of their buy-in.
Right. It's remarkable, man. You look good. You look like you've survived. I can remember there were times when we would speak and I was like, oh my God, this, you just had so much going on. I wasn't worried about you, but I just worried for you. And you have come out of it on the other side, man.
There were some times where they were very trying, and I'd be a liar to tell you that I never thought about leaving.
Yeah.
But I just.
What kept you going?
It was the people. I mean, I was given that blank canvas, and I don't want to fail at it. I want to create that organization and prove everybody wrong that it can be done, because the industry that we're in, everybody says it can't be done. Yeah. I know it can be done, and we're going to get there.
That is the take-home message, man. I mean, first and foremost, it is about the people that we serve and making sure that they are well taken care of, that they have a safe place to work. That's what drives us. That's what, when we go home at night, we can actually sleep, we feel like we're making progress.
That's it. And, the other thing is, it's a thankless job. No one's going to come and thank you.
Right. Right. Exactly. So just come to terms with that right from the beginning.
You just have to come to terms with that. You just have to know, like, it was a good week because I had 2 incidents and they were very minor that just involved Band-Aids.
Right.
And that's a good week.
That is a good week, man. It's good to have you here, brother. It's good to see you. A lot of incredible information in that. We're going to come back and do another episode. I hope you'll check out the next one. But this is fantastic stuff. And yeah, man, I am really proud of you. You're my hero. I could not have probably done this. So thanks for coming. It's good to see you.
Appreciate it.
Thanks, guys. Have a good weekend, and we will talk to you soon. Later.